Hi everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Lights Camera Rant. We have a full-packed episode for this week. We've got some great news about the writer's strike. We've got some bad news about Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic remake, and we are going to be diving into the latest episode of Ahsoka Episode 7. And to join me, I've got the boys from the Why So Sidious Podcast. How are we going, guys?
Oh, it's going good.
Fantastic.
We're ready.
Ready? Thanks. Thank you very much for being here. And I could not think of a better group of guys to dive in to this episode about Ahsoka, which is we're right around the corner from the final.
Thanks for having us, man. Pleasure.
Which you guys, I have to admit, your show, you started in October 2022. You're 142 episodes deep. You guys are killing on Instagram. You're killing on YouTube, and your reels are fantastic as well. Which I think, David, you all put them together, don't you?
Some of them. JD's been slapping them together as well, though, so I can't take all that. JD runs our TikTok as well, so he's been branching out and do a lot of creative stuff, some giveaways, comic giveaways. He gets a lot of interaction on TikTok with us too. So we're all throwing them out there. It's fun though. It's fun interacting with people most of the time on Instagram. Most of the time.
You do get the odd comment, and then you're like, "Thanks for the comment, piece of shit."
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So what was it you guys just like, let's start a podcast? What was the catalyst, or what was your canon event to start the podcast?
Canon event. God, I don't know if we had a canon event. It was just discussions kind of slowly building up over a year or two, between me and Caleb and me and JD, and just kind of like, we should just start a podcast, right? There's so much stuff to talk about. Me and JD were getting deep into comics too. More so, JD got me into the comic scene there. So we had a lot to talk about there. All this content coming out. Love's obviously a massive Star Wars fan and Marvel and all that. So yeah, we just decided after watching the Kenobi series, we got such a dope finale. I guess that was the canon event, was the Kenobi finale with Darth Vader and Kenobi facing off. And that was our first episode. We're like, let's just do it. Screw it. Let's just hop on, click record, and talk about Kenobi. So I guess that was our canon event. Yeah.
I remember me and Dave were both going to college in Sacramento, and we would always watch the new MCU movies. I remember Age of Ultron, like that era, we were really big into that. And so we were nerding out hard ever since those were coming out. And he really pushed us to actually start, because we're talking. I wasn't ready. I was moving from Florida, Virginia, back to California, and I just had babies. And but David's like, we're doing it. Let's just start this. Obi-Wan's out. We got to do it. So yeah, you got the ball rolling.
Doesn't matter what you're doing. We're doing it now.
Right. Drop everything.
I remember the first practice episode we did was Obi-Wan, and I did it in a car on my phone. I was just in the parking lot of a car.
I forgot about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's in a car. Doesn't matter if it's anywhere.
Exactly.
Which, I just can't believe that we're so far removed from Kenobi, and that now we've got Ahsoka, which, even last time, where all the interviews with Kenobi, everyone was saying, "Oh, what are you doing for Ahsoka? What are you doing for Ahsoka?"
Right.
And here we are now.
Crazy.
Star Wars is back.
Oh my God.
Star Wars is back. We are back.
We are back. Yeah, Hayden would get asked about that regarding Ahsoka, and I remember those interviews where he's like, "Can't touch that one." And at the time, I didn't really think much of it, because I wasn't really thinking, "Oh, they're for sure bringing him back, like full on Anakin's coming back." So I didn't know what he was hiding. But damn, I did not know this is what he was hiding. So good on him for keeping that a secret.
Yeah, which would have been so hard. A lot harder than Kenobi altogether.
Yeah,
and he's blown out of the park. And again, which this episode too, I think you and Dave, you were talking about this, that we heard the extra lines in the trailer.
Yes. Yeah, because that was the line from the Tales of the Jedi scene where he's training Ahsoka essentially for Order 66. And so, yeah, we heard that trailer line, and I was thinking maybe we're getting a live action, reenactment of that scene, but they did it in a more creative way. Honestly, I thought that was really cool how they used him.
Yeah, I know we talked about that in one of our previous episodes, and I'm glad that this was Anakin's last scene, because people are saying maybe he comes back, maybe he shows up at the end. And if this is, because this is what was left from the trailer that we haven't seen yet. So I think we're done with Anakin, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and Caleb's always hated Anakin. So that's right. If you're new to the channel.
Least favorite Star Wars character.
Just overused, bland character, doesn't like sand. Like, come on.
What's going on?
Yeah. Like, he had one good scene out of 7 movies. But no, look, and you guys you've seen the past week that the writer's strike is finally finished?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still pretty unaware of what happened. I know they said it's come to a close, but I don't personally know. Like, are we good to go? They signed an agreement between SAG and the writers, and we're all moving forward officially.
Well,
like it's clear.
It's the actors now. The actors.
So the actors are still striking.
Yeah,
which should domino effect, and that should be good to go.
Right. It won't take as long as it did with the writers, because the writers are fighting over the streaming rights, and and I think they got some, like a small percentage, basically close to what they were asking for. So I hope it was a win for the writers.
That's what I was going to ask, if they actually got what they were demanding or if they bent the knee. So
right.
Yeah, they after 142 days of striking, they finally won.
Damn, I think David Zaslav said they lost around $400 million over the strike, and that amount of money is basically what the writers were asking for, if not less than that. So
I thought it was
like
40 million that they wanted total or something.
Right, less
so
than
they
that.
paid like 10 times more than what they would have just had to pay the writers initially. Classic.
Yeah. Well, I guess unfortunately is that at least any new show should be able to start getting writing and get on the ball rolling, but actors, that's still all at a halt. I'm still worried that obviously in the next 6 to 7 months we're going to get that lull of quality of TV show and movies.
I actually I would mind it because there's a lot of stuff I was really looking forward to getting into. Mainly Deadpool 3 should have been coming out soon. We should have had a lot of stuff coming out soon right now. So that hurts. But if I'm being 100% honest, the idea of having a little bit of a gap to maybe just do some creative podcast episodes and kind of, because I feel like we've been grinding a good amount on all the live series coming out. So selfishly, as somebody putting together episodes, it's like, that doesn't sound that bad. But again, I would rather have Deadpool now. So,
and a lot of news, like DCU news, I'm really looking forward to. We can finally start learning what's going on there and all kinds of stuff. House of the Dragon 2 finished filming. That's unrelated because I think it was already done, right?
Well, they work in England, and they have like different somehow that writers union isn't, or that actors union isn't on strike right now. So they were allowed to continue filming because they're all British actors. None of them are American, I'm pretty sure.
Which is sick.
Nice.
Yeah. Because that was the only one that got done for HBO. Euphoria, it's all got delayed, but House of the Dragon came on in.
Oh, did I see something the other day that the second season of The Rings of Power is done too? That they're now going to start early production for season 3.
It's like done. Because they film in like all around Europe too, right? They're not filming in the States.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or just green screen wherever. I don't know.
Right. So they probably have the same rules as House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Amazon's going to let that slow down, or HBO.
Bezos will push that through.
Yeah, not the cash cow.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that show, Lee? The first season?
A House of Dragon or Rings of Power?
Rings of Power.
I liked it. And I was curious about season 2, but at the same time, I wasn't like, wow, like this is just incredible.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
It had its ups and downs, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I love Galadriel and young Elrond and the finding out Sauron is the Hallbrand at the end. So there were some good parts, but there was the down parts with what's her face, the hobbits, hobbit ancestors, whatever her name is.
Too much.
Yeah.
Nobody can remember her name.
No.
She was in it for like half of the season. Can't remember what her name was. Just go with Muriel. Based on social media comments, I think I liked it more than most people did because I really enjoyed it. But good Lord, it got torn apart in a lot of the comment sections online. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
It's because both of those shows come out. They were both fighting each other, and we both knew that these two shows were two of the most expensive TV shows ever made. So there was people complaining about Rings of Power. There's people complaining House of Dragon.
Andor wasn't that going at the same time as those three, or those two other ones? We had 3 going at once. Like that was insane.
Busy.
Yeah, that's right. Which Andor season 2? I don't know. I don't know if that's done yet. I know they were shooting it.
I don't believe so.
I think he tried to push on, and then they called him out for being a scab, and they stopped it.
Yes, he was one of the ones who tried to push through. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Which Andy on YouTube, he's sticking around for the whole episode. It's currently I think about 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock at the moment.
What a guy!
Pre-production for season 3. He's on the news.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
He's on it. And Cameron, who obviously is the lead in the Jedi series, has confirmed that Jedi Survivor 3 is currently in the works. Which I didn't even know they're going to turn that into a trilogy.
Well, it kind of made sense with the ending of Survivor. I feel like. Have you finished it?
Yeah.
With spoiler alert, him and the young girl. I feel like that's going to be the next game where it's because you find out she's Force sensitive as well. So I think you're going to be able to play maybe as both of them, or it's going to be him kind of taking her along and having a Padawan.
Yeah, true. A lot of people died at the end of that game.
Right.
Compared to the start. There was a lot of people dead.
That was an amazing fight scene at the end with Vader. That was so much fun.
I haven't even played the game, but I watched that on YouTube. I watched the whole fight sequence because it just came up. And I was like, whatever, my curiosity's beating me. I ain't going to play the game in a while. So I just watched that fight.
He's in the second one too, huh?
Yeah, he's in the second one.
Nice.
Not
never
for
have
as
too
long.
much Vader. No,
which his fight scene in the second one, I don't know if I was just having a shit day or it took me about 30 goes to try and kill him. I was like, I've never been so more frustrated because any attack you try to do, you would just get killed instantly.
That's every Elden Ring boss.
Yeah, pretty much. Like far out. Now, how do you guys feel about a reboot of The Office?
I'd say last time, all for it. But if it's other people, I don't. You need at least Michael, Jim, Dwight. You need those 3 people.
Yeah, as somebody who has watched all 9 seasons of The Office, not exaggerating, probably more than 20 times at this point. I'm not even exaggerating. Like for 13 years, like at least once a year I would run through each season. Just every night I would turn on The Office. Doing homework in college, turn on The Office. Going to bed to fall asleep, turn on The Office. Wake up abruptly to the theme song blasting, fall asleep again. But that was just the routine. I freaking love this show. It's my favorite comedy series out there. And I 100% do not want them rebooting this. I don't want them touching it. I don't think they're going to get everybody back in the first place. if they got every single person back, everybody and the writers, the directors, everybody back, I'd still be hesitant. But I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think Steve Carell coming back? Did they say he's returning? And John Krasinski?
No, all the post was that the original showrunner is going to return for it, and it was going to be a reboot. So know if it's going to be full reboot or it's just me a new season, or was it a legacy sequel show, which seems to be everywhere right now.
Yeah, because
Frasier's coming back.
That's right. Which I'm actually more in for that than The Office, honestly. But season 9 wasn't amazing. It got a little better. Michael came back at the end and stuff, but I'm not here for it. But no. I don't blame you if you are.
Well, I've watched The Office, but I haven't seen Parks and Rec. Isn't Parks and Rec kind of a spin on The Office? So I feel like if they want to do like another spin on it again, where it's a different situation, but the same type of, it's like the documentary style,
It's some of the same creatives on Parks and Rec. And yeah, it did have the documentary style. Okay, guys, you see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're making it The Office, not just another style like that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I think that they're branding it The Office rightly.
Yeah, it's just The Office, itself. But again, I feel like this is becoming more the common now that no one's really thinking of new ideas. They're just going back and doing legacy sequels or doing a new season. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Futurama, but that was something I didn't see coming back.
That's right. Did any of you watch that? Has anybody? I haven't watched the new season because I just didn't have a ton of interest. Even though I used to like Futurama, loved The Simpsons growing up. That was my jam, but I didn't have any interest. I think Caleb watched an episode or two, but he's AFK right now
at the moment. Which even The Simpsons still hasn't ended. Still hasn't ended.
What the hell? Are we on like season 37 or something? Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
I thought that maybe with Fox going, that Disney would pump it out probably a little bit longer than finally kill it, but nah.
Yeah, they're just rolling.
Hey,
they have future tragedies to predict. Okay, they got to write some episodes because things are going to happen in 2028 that they have to predict now. So they got to get ahead of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a whole YouTube video and a half diving into that well of the Simpson predictions.
It's been going on a long time. It's very weird.
I know. Hey, they predicted the dome. They predicted so many things, and it just by fluke. 9/11, because it was just on a magazine. I think it was. It just said a couple of
the magazine
cost.
Yeah, it was like 9 cents or something, and the cent thing was 2 lines, and it made a 911, and the Twin Towers with silhouette is on the magazine cover. And it's like, and some tragedy happens when Homer visits New York in that episode too, or there's a lot of layers to it. But anyways,
yeah,
go on for days about that.
I know that's a whole episode in itself.
Yeah.
Now, have all of you guys seen Prey?
Yes.
Totally.
Loved it.
How do you feel about sequel?
Hold on. The way loves. I've heard that totally before. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
No. I thought we had talked.
You got a long list of things you have to watch. Starting with Daredevil.
What?
I love Fred. Yeah.
No, you weren't supposed to say
now
that.
They all know. Everybody knows now.
That was
our secret. Daredevil.
I know.
What was the most recent revelation we had about you too? There's something else that popped up recently too. I won't take us off track here, but regarding Prey, I loved it. I thought Prey was awesome. I'm not even a huge Predator fan, but this movie was just such a fun watch, so unique, and the way they did everything, the Native American touch they had to everything. I just really enjoyed it.
So good, and it should have been in cinemas because it only got straight into streaming.
Hulu,
big name like that. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
It was COVID though, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Do we have any info? I think we all agree on that
wrong.
one here, Andy.
Not wrong. Lock him up. Put a TV in front of him. Put him in handcuffs.
Yeah. You have to, and you also have to watch Ben Affleck's Daredevil again as well.
Oh, that's a must.
Just as
yeah,
punishment.
Yeah.
Staple.
As a punishment.
Are you sure about that?
That is your punishment.
As a punishment, yeah.
Do we have any info on Prey 2? Like, are we following the same character? What are we looking at for this?
No, all I read was that it's in active development. Nothing about where it is, who it is, if it will be a sequel. But if you guys could pick, where would you want the next Prey to take place in history and time? My top pick is Japan, samurais, versus Predator. Take my ticket.
I would love it after 1492 and Christopher Columbus, and I mean all that they did. I would like the Predator to be unleashed on some of those kind of people and see the damage that gets done to them. That'd be fun to watch.
Slave owners versus Predator.
Do it to the other side of.
Wait, what do you mean? Do it to the other side?
Do it to the side. Do it to the Europeans that came over and wiped
Revenge.
the Indians out.
I said Predator versus the slave owners, and then you said do it to the other side. So I was like, wait, you want them to attack the slaves? What do you mean
The
do it to the other
slaves?
side? Okay,
No.
Hang on.
I'm with you on the
Poor
slave
slaves.
owners.
They've been through enough.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Lee. It's funny enough.
Sam.
There's a guy, Evan Williams, on Instagram. He does the coked out pitch meetings where it'll be like Fast and Furious pitch meeting, and he'll do a fat line and be like, "All right, here we go. We got another fantasy. Give me a protagonist. Give me a crazy situation."
Oh yeah.
And he does
Love
that
his
for the
videos.
Predator. He does it for the Predator, and he talks about a Shogun setup with a experienced Predator bringing around a young Predator that he's training, and we also follow a parallel story with a samurai and his apprentice, and it's like a parallel storyline, and they end up fighting the two Predators at the end of it on top. Like it's a joke for the real, but it sounds like an incredible movie. So I'm picking that too. Shogun era samurai. Let's get a Predator.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Dude, the samurai era would be sick. Like Genghis Khan's army or something like that.
Yeah. Going against the Predator. That'd be awesome.
That'd be good.
You need a lot of Predators because they're going to be tough.
Yeah. Would you want to see another Predator in it, or you just think it's just good, just keep it as the one?
That's a good question. Probably just to make it different. Yeah, probably give them a way more formidable army like the Genghis Khan army. Have dozens of Predators versus thousands of samurais. That'd be crazy.
I'm not against it.
That'd be a lot of green blood. But no, I was very curious. I didn't think they were going to make a sequel to this because it did go just to streaming. Like it did have the popularity, but that's obviously never guaranteed. So when I did see this was getting a sequel, I was like, hell yes.
Yeah, I'm in.
And this is kind of sad news, which we're talking before. Obviously, we started going live, but I think about 2 or 3 years ago now, they did announce they were going to make a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the first game for next-gen consoles, for a completely rebuilt game ready to go. However, apparently all trailers and tweets all been removed from online because we haven't heard anything about this game for nearly over a year.
Man.
Now, is it possible that, I don't know, maybe they just want to keep some stuff under wraps and they take a bunch of stuff down because they're going back to formula? I mean, I'm just trying to think optimistically, but it seems more like it's canceled.
Right. I feel like we did hear, I think I talked about it on A Week in Geek about switching production teams maybe like a few months ago. So
that was that was almost a year ago. That was
really?
Yeah. Because I was at my other job when we were talking about that one.
Oh, okay. But it's such an easy game to make. Like the story's already there. There's already 2 games that you could go off of, and everyone's gonna buy it. Like it's $1 billion. Like easy money is that game. So how can you not do it when the story's already there?
I don't know. I maybe they did. Was it Final Fantasy? One of them. I can't remember which one is it, where they announced it, and it was so far away from its development, like from release date, and they even came forward saying we announced this way too early. I think it was one of the. I think Final Fantasy VII remake. I think they announced it, and it was about an 8-year gap.
God. See, and maybe that is the case. Maybe they're just delaying it for the foreseeable future. They're focusing on Star Wars Outlaw, which I think that's a different developer anyway, so I don't know if that's even connected. But it's a bummer. It's a bummer. I just really want to play Knights of the Old Republic again, so it's a bummer. Good Lord.
You can on your phone. That's why I love you can play it on your phone.
Jeez.
Okay.
I thought EA losing the rights to Star Wars games would get us Knights of the Old Republic and Star Wars Outlaws and all these other games, but seems like they're just still kind of slowly putting one out at a time. Like it's okay, you can bust out the Star Wars games. They'll all do well if they're different.
Well, are you guys excited for Outlaws?
Yes. I mean, I don't love the main character so far, but I think I'll be able to get kind of attached to her and go along with it. If the story's good, the story has to be good in those type of games.
What is Outlaws actually?
Outlaws is a complete open world. It's maybe like
okay.
Ubisoft.
That's the open world Star Wars game?
Yeah.
I'm pumped for that. I don't know anything about it, but an open world Star Wars game, that sounds pretty cool.
You're like a Han
hunter.
Solo type character, but you're a woman, female.
Yeah. Is that why you can't go like character?
No, of course no. I played Cyberpunk as a female. Okay, so I can do both sides. That doesn't. But I just like more
days
getting to choose. But getting to choose male or female does make the character bland sometimes because they have to, all the characteristics have to fit both genders.
Hello, you.
Right?
Yeah. With this mission.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all. I'm so sorry.
No, I was going to say I actually thought it had a release date. It only actually has just 2024 to it.
Of course,
it does. Okay. Like everything. It's just slap a year. That's the new thing now.
Yeah. We don't know if it's coming out, but here's the year.
Yeah, probably around this time.
Yeah. Look at the Suicide Squad game. That was meant to come out in Feb.
Oh my God. I mean, that's just a poster boy of delayed projects. How many times has that been delayed?
At least twice.
Oh yeah, many times.
So guys, you've all watched. You did watch up to episode 2.
Yes.
52.
Episode 3 for me, but I'm not bragging or anything.
What do we think so far?
I'm not sold. I'm really not sold. It has all the gross stuff of The Boys minus like all the really good stuff of The Boys. There is some stuff that's keeping me in. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm just saying I'm not completely sold yet. Now that we got to the woods and we can kind of see that drama. And I always like about The Boys that weird political corruption thing where she thought she was getting praised for saving someone, but it turns out she was getting expelled because it's almost too good of a hero kind of thing. So I love to see that deep political corruption that just penetrates the Boys universe and all the way into college. So there's enough to keep me invested. I'll watch the next episode. But yeah, I'm not completely sold. Love The Boys though, but it's still too gross sometimes, man. I mean, you got the opening scene with the period blood causing there's a lot, and we got a penis covering the screen. Some of it's hard to watch.
Yeah, you haven't even watched episode 3, where we get it's not a sexual scene, but it's a very gory,
brain numbing.
Yeah, and yeah, there you go. It's mind blowing how violent it is. Another Ant-Man scenario, but yeah, I'm intrigued with it. I don't think it's as good as The Boys either. It's definitely got some unique aspects that I'm enjoying. The whole college thing, freshman class, the rankings and everything like that. Their world building, a pretty interesting little setup, which I think is cool. I think it's a weird route to have your main character have this power, to follow around this person who has to cut her hands and wrists open every time she's going to use her power. It's a very weird direction to go for a main character of a show, and it doesn't super work for me. It's kind of weird. I don't understand. Does she have unlimited blood? Because if you're shooting blood, or if it showed in one of the scenes where she's shooting the blood around, she sits down like lightheaded. So it's like, okay, so she can only use the amount of blood she has in her body before she gets dizzy or dies from a loss of blood. So I don't know. But it's got promise, I think. I don't know.
You know what would be cool? Because I remember the evolution of Magneto in First Class when he was tearing every metal thing around him apart. And then the next scene when he's an adult, all of a sudden he's controlling a little quarter. I wonder if she could do a drop of blood eventually. And that thing can go, drill through someone's head. So it's just a tiny bit of blood that she has a lot of control over. And she, doesn't have to get lightheaded every time she uses it.
Yeah,
that was still a lot of blood, though. And God. I didn't like that opening scene.
Like the Magneto scene in X-Men 2, when he's got the liquid steel. He's just
too much iron in your blood. Just rips it out of him and takes. Oh, that's a gnarly scene.
But she can control other people's blood.
Yeah,
too.
Can she?
So, she saved that woman's life.
Yeah, so she did. I think she's. I don't remember if I saw in the trailer or not if she had like vials of blood on her when she was using it maybe in the down later.
Little ammo shoulder strap with just
right.
That's like throw the vial down.
Yeah. I liked the creativity of it, though. It is super creative. It reminds me of every time he opens those claws, it hurts him, but he has to kind of do it.
Well, that's
very strange, and this is drawn blood. You can't do the in someone's body it has to be an open wound exposed to the air, right?
Yeah,
because I was gonna say that would be super powerful if you could just pop anybody like a balloon. But still, that's very powerful, and you can go a lot of creative ways with that. But it is weird.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's one thing I do like about. I did like about these 3 episodes is everyone's power. Not to say has a glitch, but no one has a pure good power. They all have a problem with. All of them have a problem with their power.
Yeah.
Cost.
Yeah. Like even Golden Boy, which got smacked in the dick on flame. I can't get that image out of my head.
It took me a while to know that was a penis.
The flopping, not give it away.
Well, I don't know if it was a skin flap.
I texted the guys earlier and said I like Golden Boy as a character, and didn't last very long though. I was like, I wanted to know, but we're gonna find out more about his backstory because obviously there was a lot going on that made him do what he did.
Yeah,
that was a good hook in the first episode. Like you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And Mr. Krabs didn't last long either.
Bro, Clancy Brown just loves coming into the premiere episode of a show and then just not being in the show the rest of the time. He just did that in Ahsoka. He just loves these little cameo roles that he survives off of. But the mystery, I will say, is what's bringing me back. They set up a mystery that I'm intrigued about. What is the woods? What are they doing? What's going on under wraps with everything? So I am intrigued to watch the next episode because they have set up that mystery well with this. So.
And I think it's 9 episodes, same as The Boys too.
I have no idea, actually. I didn't even know we were getting 3 episodes for this. I didn't know the premiere was going to be 3 episodes.
Neither did I. I was like, oh, we can watch the first episode and talk about it. I was like, Oh shit! Episode 2 is now playing. Oh, episode 3 is now playing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's 3.5 hours gone.
I think The Boys has done that before as well.
Yeah, I think so.
A 3-episode premiere.
Yeah, they did that season 2 or 3. Yeah. Looks like 8 episodes is what we're getting.
Yeah. And this is meant to be, I forgot who said it, but this is, you definitely have to watch the show leading into season 4. Apparently there's a lot of this that'll be leading into season 4.
Wow.
Well,
That's
I
one
bet
way to
someone's
do it.
going to be in the 7.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 4 of them left, so they need to fill
I
up
don't
the
even know what
spots.
Andre's power is, so I don't know what he's gonna. He looks like he has super strength and maybe some telekinesis,
kind of
but I don't
Telekinesis, yeah.
Even know. Yeah.
Is it metal or is it everything? Is it organic matter, inorganic matter? Yeah, we don't know.
He's Magneto.
No idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true. Even I forgot her name. The Golden Boy's girlfriend. She's about to have an aneurysm if she keeps using her power.
Oh yeah. What's we've
Kate.
seen a hero have this power before, where they can tell them what to do.
11.
Rogue.
Oh,
11.
11. No, she
No.
bleeds. She bleeds from the
No.
eyes when she does her shit.
There's a
Yeah,
project
there's
where
a cop
somebody
there.
grabs him and says, "Walk until you can't walk any further," and they let go of them. And the guy, it's in it's X-Men Origins. It's Wolverine's wife. She has the power to
That's
touch people and control what they're gonna do next. Or
Yeah,
so that's what it reminded me of.
that's right. And we're also getting Jason Eccles too. He's confirmed that he will be appearing in it as Gen V as well.
Oh.
Soldier Boy.
Now, is he actually appearing? Because I also saw the Deep is going to cameo in the show, and then we saw the Deep just doing kind of a paid programming little, after school special video. It wasn't really him in the series. So is Soldier Boy actually going to be in it?
I don't know if it's going to be in it or cameo. It was just the only thing is Instagram, and he was just like this.
Oh, I did see that. I think right. Yeah.
Which again, I don't think he's been fully announced in season 4, but he has to be in season 4. You can't have Jason Eccles be asleep, and that's it.
Yeah. No, I loved him. They better bring him back.
But we're all excited, yes, and they've kept Gen V's kept with its gross part. I think they've also been very creative in some of the grossest parts. And I even said to my partner, I was like, don't come and watch the show with me. I don't have time to explain everything that's going on. And you'd be mortified. Because we watched the first episode of season 3 together, and she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
Oh no.
I was like,
not that Ant-Man scene.
I was like, he's just gone upside the man from the front.
That's all he's doing.
That's what he likes.
The man.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, no, these shows go on a list of shows that you do not watch in airport terminals, on flights, on a bus in public, in a waiting room in the office. You don't watch these in those areas. You watch them at home in your room, preferably with nobody else in the room.
No. All right, let's get into the main thing, the piece de resistance. Episode 7 of Ahsoka, Dreams of Madness. So, as soon as this episode finished, what was your initial thought? As soon as you saw the credits, what'd you think?
One of the weaker episodes, but wasn't bad. Yeah, that was kind of my main thing. It wasn't my favorite, but there was some good stuff too.
Yeah.
I liked when it finished, I was like, well, not a lot happened. Ahsoka came back. The cameo thing was cool. Seeing the first scene, we a ton of cameos and mentions. That was a lot of fun. And I really want Thrawn to escape and come back to the galaxy, but it was still fun. The action, I thought the Force use I liked watching Ezra push people around so much, like with the Force and Ahsoka. the force powers, I think they could use a lot more creativity with in the past and, looking forward, because they have these powers where they can control things, and sometimes they're fist fighting. And I'm like, well, there should be a lot more of this stuff. So it was cool to see, a bunch of kick and a force push, then a lightsaber comes out, slice, push, so more creative action was fun. But yeah, just not a ton happened, but it's still a lot of fun to watch,
Yeah, I'd probably put this episode in the middle somewhere. Like, it was good setup for the finale, but I would have liked more of a cliffhanger at the end. I feel like it just kind of set things up. There wasn't much anxiety or hype for the finale. It's just like, okay, Ezra, Ahsoka, and Sabine are going to go try and stop Thrawn. They're all together. Nothing really bad happened yet, even though they were distracted at the same time. But I don't know. I still think the finale will be great, but it wasn't my favorite episode.
No, I have to agree with all three of you on it. After the episode ended, I was kind of like, all right, cool. And I was like, yeah, now I'm just not really wasn't like, oh shit, I need the final right now.
Yeah,
I need to see this now. It's like I can wait because but you're right. That opening scene and the court, there was a lot of people mentioned. There was a lot of cameos. I was expecting to see C-3PO back.
Yeah, great cameo. Loved it.
A perfect cameo and a great use of one as well.
Yeah,
it was meaningful, and it wasn't super big. I mean, Leia wouldn't have made sense, like bringing in a de-aged or CGI Leia. Like, no, just bring 3PO in, and it was actually Anthony Daniels. He was in the credits.
He came back,
and it didn't look like CGI. It looked like someone in a C-3PO suit.
No, it looked practical.
C-3PO. Yeah, he should always be practical, right?
I mean, they have like 5 on deck.
Yeah,
suits, just sitting around in the closet.
Keep using it. Do what works. I was awesome. I got a little emotional. The score rise. C-3PO is mentioning, Senator Leia Organa, and we're getting the Force theme, so it just kind of hits you in the feels with that nostalgic Leia feel. I always, anytime that Leia's theme, the Force theme plays, it's always an emotional reaction back to it. So I wasn't crying at the scene, but I was feeling sentimental. The nostalgia thing worked. It was done in a really well way, but I just loved it. It legitimately made me smile. So that was a good start to the episode for me. But the New Republic are just beyond stupid. None of this makes sense. They're saying there's no proof. There's an Inquisitor's lightsaber. There's a bunch of assassin droids that were killed on the planet there. There's a bunch of other stuff that is proof that there was a battle there and a fight. They saw a massive ring jump into... There's so much proof that this whole thing, and now I know it's just, well, Hera broke the rules, so now we're going to get her in trouble for that. And we get this dick Senator Ziono. But that's the dad of the Star Wars Resistance series main character, apparently. Which I'm wondering if he was that much of a dick in that show too, but it's just
dead.
Well, he's still alive. He's still alive in the Resistance show, so he ain't gonna die of this. But yeah, they're just they're useless as usual. But the one thing I did take away from it is that I think they're so useless, and Leia's already going against their kind of protocol and bailing Hera out here and stuff. So I think at this point, Leia's already began to form the Resistance, because she's smart. She can already see the New Republic is useless. She already knows she has to start building something else. So I think the foundation of the Resistance is probably already being built.
Yeah, 100%. And what I don't get, which I was a little bit taken out, was he's like, oh, this sounds like a fairy tale, Jedi, no Jedi, space whales. I'm like, there's Jedi are real. Like, you've seen all this shit in space. Like, how is that a fairy tale?
Yep,
same thing.
Traveling hyperspace, doing all these crazy things, and this sounds made up. Like, what do you mean? You know what galaxy you live in?
Well, it's if you were born after Order 66, then it's a whole different story.
He's like 60.
He ain't 60, but he's old.
He's at least 40. The man was around during the Clone Wars.
Okay,
but let's be honest.
Yeah,
he was there when the Jedi Order was in full power.
Andy.
You're traveling hyperspace, dude. Like, what do you mean? Nothing else makes sense. But you know, it's become kind of a weird meta commentary in like any of these franchises. Oh, that seems like a myth. I didn't believe that. That's just something I heard as a child. We hear that in every show now, and it's just pretty much just like a meta commentary for us at home, where this stuff isn't real and these are all myths. So, especially when it's coming from a senator in the Star Wars galaxy where
like
crazy
Luke
things happen.
Skywalker saved the galaxy 7 years ago. His sister is the senator talking in this. What do you mean you don't believe in the Force and the jet? Like, I just don't buy it. I don't buy that setup with this stuff. I bought it in the original trilogy with Han saying, you know, myths and fairy tales. The Force is a bunch of made up. I bought that, but this
the first people to do it. I mean, that's the first character that probably ever said that, right? In a major franchise.
That too.
Yeah.
Isn't Luke kind of a myth though? Like, wasn't that thing a whole thing about Moff Gideon being so afraid of him? About how like the legend and myth of Luke Skywalker.
Well, that's right.
But it's Leia's brother.
And not as many people know about Luke, Vader, and Palpatine as you think. Like that was pretty
the high up of the New Republic. He's a
I mean,
massive leader. He should know how the Galactic Empire was defeated if you're a leader in the New Republic. I don't know. He's not some kid.
How did we win again? Oh, that's right. We just locked up. We just won, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
blew
yeah.
up all their ships in space.
Remember when the Emperor jumped down that hole by himself?
Yeah.
He fell.
God.
Death Star 2 just exploded. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
One of those
Yeah, there's a Death Star too. Like, that's pretty written in history.
Yeah. But no, Space Whales apparently is one of the weirdest things to find. So do we think he's working with the First Order and Moff Gideon and all that? Was it the underground crew? Oh, not underground crew, but like the Shadow Council, sorry, that we saw in season 3 of Mandalorian.
Well,
I think he's just stupid.
Because he's in Resistance, right?
Yeah, that's why. He's the dad in Resistance, so I think
he's not a
still
bad
good
guy.
But I've never seen it, so I don't know. But
yeah, same.
Maybe he is a scumbag in that show. I don't know.
He's just awful. I do like how Chopper got so offended. Like he was ready to kill him. Like he had to hold him back.
Had to hold him back. Hey, whoa, it's him.
Yeah.
No more war crimes today.
Chopper's crazy.
You know, Mon Mothma's really coming out as like the Nick Fury of this Mandoverse. All the shows we've had in the past few years. She's 100%. In everything, you know. She'll be in Mandalorian season 4, I bet, and she'll be in the new movie, probably.
She's the more like the Wong. She's on that level.
Yeah, all same. Yeah, that Wong is kind of the Nick Fury of Phase 4, right?
Yeah, he kind of is.
Yeah,
you're a little bit of connective tissue type of character, and it's always.
Yeah.
She always seems to be in the background of these plans. These things seem to always be happening around her, but she's not really doing anything. Like Andor, the whole rebellion and stuff. Yeah, like she kind of funded Luthen, but got mad when he acted and wasn't really doing anything. I don't know. She wasn't behind. JD hates Carson.
Data needs to be analyzed. Okay.
How dare you, sir? But Mon Mothma's not really knowing what's going on here either. She's like, oh, Leia didn't approve that. And she's like, yeah, she did. And I don't know. Mon Mothma's just kind of always here, but not really doing anything or orchestrating anything other than evading tax fraud and Andor. No offense. I still like her, but
she's a politician.
She is a politician.
Yeah, that is a politician, isn't it? She's just kind of a face, but she does seem neutral. She doesn't get anything done for the heroes. She's supposed to be kind of a hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More just like a neutral motherly figure that comforts us, kind of.
And is concerned about everything but doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But as this episode moves on, as we're talking, we get our final cameo of Hayden Christensen as General Skywalker, which we find out there's 20 of these recordings.
Yeah.
And which is very reminiscent of, I think, is one of the episodes in Star Wars Rebels. Ahsoka's watching one of the holograms with Ezra. and obviously is in the Tales of the Jedi, and we're all satisfied that this was the last cameo. That like that's done, and it worked.
I could see one popping up later in another season. If she made the point of he's done at 20 of these recordings, so I wouldn't be surprised if next season maybe opens up with another lesson that she's watching of Anakin's or whatever. I wouldn't be angry either. But I thought the way, if it is the last one, it was just done so well. The way they used this was perfect. He looked really good in the hologram. We get that dialogue, but it was just a touching way that we now see Ahsoka being able to fully appreciate the training she got from her master. It's not regret. She isn't feeling guilt, loss, didn't finish her training or anything like that. She has fully come to peace with it, to the fact that she can really utilize and embrace that training he gave her. You know, she can fully embrace the Chosen One's teachings now. And so I think it's a really cool full circle moment for Ahsoka going over this. And the training itself was pretty slow, but I actually kind of thought it was dope because she was really practicing control of her body. Like she was almost moved. Shout out to Rosario Dawson. Her body fluid movements and everything going on. She seemed very controlled, composed, pretty trained. So I thought it was different. It's not the crazy fast paced training we're used to seeing, but I enjoyed it.
She's a very old Ahsoka. And I didn't expect to get Anakin. So it was just a nice surprise, really. Just extra. You know, if he comes on to the screen, he's going to bring that Star Wars magic with every word he speaks.
So I know I said I was done with Anakin, but I kind of thought of something that could work out. Because I still don't think that she was that was actually Anakin in the World Between Worlds. I think that was something else. So I don't know, at the end of this season, I feel like Thrawn's going to win. So maybe at the end of season 2 or the end of the movie, we get a Force Ghost Anakin, and it's actually him kind of confronting her and, you know, finishing the story that way. Because I don't think she still actually talked to him and resolved, you know, because he just immediately started fighting her. He wasn't like, you know, I'm sorry, I miss you, how you been, you know. It was a crazy Anakin. So I'd like to see peaceful Force Ghost Anakin.
Now, you know what? Now I'm going to attack you.
Are we talking about the Vader genocide thing again? Good Lord.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Over it.
Yes.
Mr. Perfect.
But no, and you're also right. Like we get outside the whales too, which all those whales, lucky enough, did escape and didn't die from the giant minefield thanks to Thrawn. Which I will admit, I think this episode really showed Thrawn as being that strategic 7-step ahead kind of general. Even though it was a slow episode, this was really on display. And did you feel, I've seen this a lot, do you think he freaked out when he saw Anakin is Ahsoka's master?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
He flinched.
Yeah, I wouldn't say freaked out, but he took note. He's like, oh, she's not someone I could take lightly. Anakin trained him. Yeah. He was with Anakin during the Clone Wars. He was with Darth Vader after the Clone Wars. He knows this dude. And the fact that he trained her, he probably is a little bit more worried. But like you said, 7 steps ahead. I mean, he'll just make an extra plan or two. But the fact that he has to make an extra plan or two says a lot.
Right. And it kind of makes him change his plan because he talks about how her master was reckless and, you know, dangerous. Unpredictable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And only a handful of people know that Anakin was Vader, and he's one of them. So he really knows.
That's right.
Which is surprising to me. He didn't know Ahsoka was the Padawan of Anakin. He knew General already. Yeah. He knows all this other stuff. So that aspect was a little surprising to me that he didn't already have that information. But whatever, it didn't bother me that much. I thought the way he reacted to it was pretty dope. His plan, his concern for his resources. You know, he keeps saying no need to waste resources, pull them up. So he's obviously very concerned. He's not working with a full deck of cards. So I've seen some people saying, I just wish, you know, we keep seeing Thrawn, he keeps losing. I wish we'd see this competent Thrawn. I'm like, oh, I think he's doing pretty damn good for the cards he has right now. You know, he's been stranded for a decade. He barely has any troopers left. He's trying to get out of here above all else. So I think he's working pretty well with what he has. And God, I love this episode of him. I really thought they nailed it.
Maybe you guys
100%.
can answer this. So it always felt weird to me that Obi-Wan was Anakin's master and Anakin had a Padawan. Doesn't that seem like what I'm getting at is maybe like Ahsoka was a super unofficial Padawan, so that was never in the record books. But can you guys answer that? Like, why is there a master Padawan who was a master of a Padawan? Was he already a master? And
I think it
Obi-Wan were equals then?
I think they bent the rules a little bit for that storyboard writing because everybody in the order says you're Padawan. They call Master Skywalker and everything. So I think they just kind of bent canon with that one a little bit.
This is your unofficial off the books Padawan.
Yeah.
Like you don't exist. Hi, Ahsoka.
The younglings call him master before they die.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Says,
No, those are the people he didn't kill.
Master.
Yeah.
That struck a nerve.
Yeah, bro, that triggered the hell out of him. He's making fun of me.
Oh, can all the masters please stay? Oh, Anakin, can you please leave?
Andy's got us.
Anakin was made a knight during CW, so he was able to officially have a Padawan.
That's what I was thinking. You just have to be a knight.
Yeah, the rule of 2 is only for the Sith, huh?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But even they
three
broke
here.
that. Dooku had Asajj Ventress and Grievous going, and that's all very loose terms too. So I don't know that whole thing. I just feel like the Clone Wars era got a little. Yeah, we got that was cool. We got General Grievous, Asajj Ventress, Count Dooku name drops. That was dope. It was barely anything, but it was enough to make me smile again.
Mention it. Night Sisters, like only a small scene, but they're creepy as.
Yeah,
I got an issue with them. Very creepy. I like their costume design. I like them bringing them all in and stuff. They're very mysterious and creepy. And Caleb sent a meme, and it was something I was already kind of thinking about too, which it was like, so they can sense Ahsoka riding from another galaxy in the mouth of a Purgle, but they can't sense Ezra a mile down the road hanging out with the turtle people. And then not only that, they then locate her in this asteroid field yet again, but they can't locate Ezra a mile down the road from the ship. So that aspect of the episode felt a little goofy to me, but
is it because they already know he's there and they don't care?
But why set the trap by sending Sabine down and then hunting them down if they already know how to get to him and stuff? Like it seems they say kill Bridger and Sabine. Like they sell them. So why, if you already knew they were there, why have you not done anything now? And I don't know.
Yeah. Sure. All past Thrawn's plan. He knew they were coming. He knew everything was going to come.
Yeah. He is a smart man. I'll give him that.
I just really love the transition. It was almost a jump scare when Ahsoka calls out to Sabine and she says, "I see her," and she opens her eyes and it cuts to the Great Mother opening her eyes at the same time. I was like,
oh
God.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh
yeah.
Back to Ezra though. What if it is meant for a trap? Because he knows Ezra's here. He knows Hero comes. That could be his escape.
Oh, so he left him alive for them to. No, that's not bad. Okay.
Thrawn would do some shit like that.
Yeah, he left the bait
the
alive.
one character who would.
Interesting. That's not bad, Jake.
Yeah.
Nice.
True. Aelin and Ahsoka rematch. Which Balin is really distracted by whatever's calling him.
Yeah, you don't care at all what Shin wants anymore. He's like, yeah, I don't. No. You go do your thing. Get your place in the new empire because I'm going to do something else.
You're good. This. You're good. Here's your badge. You are a Jedi. I mean, you are whatever. Go.
Whatever you're doing. It seemed a little rushed. It seemed very abruptly, just like, oh, Balin and Shin are splitting up. I loved what he said. He goes, what was the line? impatience of victory will guarantee defeat. Like my last parting lesson to you, and he drops that wise line. So another dope line from Balin. But yeah, it seemed pretty abrupt that they split up that quickly.
And Ahsoka just jumps out of the plane and lands out right in front of
That
him.
looked horrible.
Yeah.
That's the worst CGI I've seen in this show. That looked so bad when she hit the ground. Like I verbally, I was watching with my wife. I was like, that was awful. Like that was not good.
No.
And does Morgan know something? Like when Thrawn asks her, maybe Balin will be useful yet. She kind of looks up at him like, the kind of the look she gave him, like maybe, I don't know. I'm not trying to insinuate maybe that they're working together, but maybe from her past experiences, she knows Balin's kind of out there, a little different from other mercenaries. So maybe she knows maybe he's not going to stick to the plan. Just the look she gave him for a second was like doubting.
Maybe. I didn't pick up on that, but it could be.
Man.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Well,
I feel
Balin
like he
seemed just different. Balin seemed a little different this episode.
Right.
And I just rewatched episode 4, and he doubles down on the fact that he said he is not going to harm Sabine. And he said that once to her after Shin was going to kind of attack her. He said, no, I told her no harm is going to come to her. I plan on keeping my word. He doesn't seem like a guy that would break his word, but it seems like he kind of just does a 180 in the past couple. He's okay with hurting her.
He still kept his word.
Her.
Yeah, he
So
did.
far.
They didn't.
Well,
He had Shin do it.
but no, he said no
she
harm
saw
will come to
Ezra.
her.
From his own hand.
From his own hand, I'll
Well,
take that.
no, JD's right. He stopped Shin from harming him or from harming her earlier. It wasn't him when she stopped. But I think he was waiting to fulfill the oath that he said, you will see Ezra. I will reunite you with Ezra again. You'll see him. No harm will come to you. I think he's basically saying, I'll let you come with us. We're not going to harm you. You will see Ezra again. And now he's like, all right, Shin, go ahead and kill him.
Now you found Ezra. Yeah, deals off.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Now you found him. I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah. Well, hope it was worth it.
Straight up. But oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I was going to say, when Balin's looking across, which I watched the scene a couple of times, we don't actually hear anything calling him. It's all kind of in his head.
Right.
Right.
And I still don't know what it is. Thought we'd get a bigger hint at it this episode, but felt like we got further away from it, if anything. I don't know. There's a lot of mystery to Balin still, and it just sucks because we know we only have an episode left of him, and there's so much stuff to dive into. It's just hurt.
Oh my god, he was a main character in Filoni's movie. Man,
that would have been sick. That would have been sick.
Him going off on his own works though. Story wise.
Yeah.
Could Kujek be calling him?
Yeah. So did you see that, Lee, about last episode?
When?
There was markings on the temple. They didn't say it in the show, but there was markings on the temple that translated to like praise Kujet, who was the Zepho from the Fallen Order game, who like leaned into the dark side. He was a dark Zepho kind of deal that kind of doomed their civilization, I think, because they kind of delved too deep into the dark side, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But yeah, they made a mention to Kujet on that temple that got decoded last episode. So a lot of theories is maybe it's Kujet's, the spirit of Kujet, whatever that is calling him. It could be. There's so much stuff to left, and I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time next episode on it. We still have Thrawn and Ezra and Ahsoka and everything else to fully wrap up. I don't see us spending a lot of time on it, but
it better be an hour.
No. It better be.
Needs to be. I did be sorry, real quick before we get off of Balin. He says to Ahsoka, they're having a duel, which, by the way, another dope duel. Loved it. Loved watching it. I loved the whole standoff at the start of it. Ahsoka, spreads the sabers to each of her side, balanced fully. Like, I loved it. But he says at one point, you can't defeat me. And she like fully accepts that. She's like, yeah, no, for sure. And I wonder why that is. Is it because I can't imagine it's because she's Ahsoka the White and she's not going to kill anymore. And I can't imagine it's a skill thing that she's that sure that she can't beat him. So
she does not strike me as an ego person. Even if she believes she could beat him, it doesn't care. Like she said, she doesn't have to. she
Right.
gets out of there. 'Cause she's not going to have
It's
a
not-
verbal thing like, hey, again, motherfucker.
Right.
No, you know.
It's not her goal. It's not her plan. It's not her
Yeah.
objective. He's just,
In the way.
stepping stone.
Right.
I want to see
Speed
the
bump.
finish.
Just
Ugh.
Balin was so cocky with that line. It was like, does he know something we don't? Like,
And
that
kill
line
me.
did stick.
His lightsaber was orange to start the show, and it is full on red now. Have you guys noticed that? It's changed colors.
it looked darker red in this episode. I didn't know if it
Yeah.
seemed Merrick red in this episode, but it was more red than the first couple of
Yeah.
episodes. I did notice that.
And I think Shin's as well.
Maybe it's
Shin's
a,
is a little bit more
background thing.
red.
Yeah,
It's just
hers
the
is more
volume
red too.
outside.
Maybe
I
they
don't
just
know.
kind of messed up on that, but it's changed colors for sure.
Well, did you have you guys seen that?
Interesting.
I saw someone who zoomed in on Balin's belt, and it looks like
Yeah.
a green crystal. Like that's
Yeah.
his kyber crystal from when he was a
That'd be
Jedi.
sick.
But don't you have
Love
to
that.
bleed
For a
Well, I
second,
think he
yeah,
probably
but
just left it.
it? Got
I think he
another
just-
one.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think
Oh,
he's
look, a
holding
belt
on to
buckle.
that past. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
does.
think it's
though.
cool. Yeah,
He does hold on to the.
I don't think
past.
we'll get an explanation,
Yeah.
but yeah, exactly. You know, he misses the idea of it, but not the truth.
I've been loving those memes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I saw that. It's like when I was anytime I think about my ex, I love the idea of it.
I miss the
That's-
idea of it. The
for my
truth,
old job or something.
Yeah,
the weakness.
the weakness.
It's so funny.
Which leads into the giant set piece for the turtles versus versus the troopers. Shin comes in, and we get a massive reunion. And which you guys are the best people to ask. Why did Ezra not want to use his lightsaber?
I don't know. We need to get him one though, because I'm sure Hugh Wang has one lying around for him. Like it was cool
Yeah.
for this. Maybe this season it's cool for him to not have a lightsaber, but down the road, I don't really want to see him just kind of being this hand-to-hand combat force user.
Yeah.
Like, how is force pushing someone back 5 feet really gonna hurt them unless it's like the impact of a horse kicking you? You know, we threw
Push,
one guy against a
push.
ship and that messed him up. But if you just like, fall down, like, okay, I'm gonna get back up and
Yeah.
attack you again, like, it's not the
Well,
best tactic.
Oh, my favorite part is he says, I don't need that or blasters. The force is my ally. And then he proceeds to shoot like 6 stormtroopers in the face with the blaster. It's like, well, you did use a blaster. You literally grabbed the blaster and started blasting everybody. But I didn't see
actually-
that. I didn't
heard
see
a
him
theory,
turn down the
though.
lightsaber. What?
That he sensed that they were dead, so he started killing them. He sensed they were, zombies or whatever
okay,
they
zombies,
are.
yeah. Undead.
But
Mm.
we
But
also
they
didn't
didn't-
get the smoke.
They didn't dust like Merrick. I know, but I think
Yeah.
they're actually like reincarnated bodies. I think Merrick was like a Night
Form.
Sister force projection or
Farcast.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Well,
It could.
still, what are those bodies that they're bringing onto the ship?
Yeah.
Right. What are the
That still
catacombs?
isn't
What's
explained.
going on there? Yeah. Which we'll probably get that next episode. But Sabine sucks. I'm sorry. I've been saying this the whole season, but like you're still not gonna tell him. You're still not gonna tell him how you got here,
Seriously,
what
dude?
happened to
I don't-
Ahsoka. And Ezra is way too chill with it. Just, that's complicated too. I'd be like, hell no, I've been gone for 10 years. Tell me how the hell you got here. Tell me what
What's
happened. to
going
Ahsoka.
on?
Yeah, no, I'm
I
not. This whole
couldn't-
silence thing ain't working for me, man. It's just so it pisses me off.
I couldn't
can't keep
believe
getting away
it.
with
I
it.
couldn't believe she didn't tell him the last episode when she first met him, and then they're driving in the car. I'm like, all right, finally, now she has a chance to tell him. They got a long car ride. Still doesn't tell him, dude. This is Theron. You have to tell him what's going on. And another thing about Sabine is for Ezra with a lightsaber, and he said no. She puts it back in her pocket and proceeds to fight people with her blaster and kick people and punch people. I'm like. And then eventually, after she gets punched and kicked a few times, she finally whips it out to kill one guy with her lightsaber. I'm like, dude, break that green lightsaber out. Come on. You guys
Right.
aren't like, this isn't a game. You're not training. Kill everybody. Stay safe. Why doesn't anybody want to use the lightsaber?
Yeah.
Well, that's her fight with Shin. So she was using the blasters. It was not doing anything and had to use a saber. And it was the same thing. Like, stop using your guns. Use the saber.
Right.
Mhm.
I like seeing her use the gun and the saber at the same time. Though I thought that was sick. There was a couple scenes. Pew pew.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't get it. She makes no sense right now.
She doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons, and one of the other reasons she doesn't make sense is her aim is god awful, bro. So this chase scene didn't do it for me. This was actually my favorite choreographed Sabine fight scene at the end. Once the lightsaber got ignited, I was like, this is dope. But dude, she's just missing 4, 5, 6 shots in a row constantly. Like, we're watching this chase scene and she's just missing by feet, and I'm just thinking, you're a Mandalorian. Not only that, but you're a force sensitive, possibly Mandalorian, and you can't hit shit. Like, you are a Mandalorian. In Rebels, she drilled people constantly, and she could not hit anything in this scene, and so it just totally took it out for me. But once she pulled out the saber, we got Ezra's kung fu stopping the lightsaber with the force and stuff. I thought that was dope as soon as Sabine ignited the lightsaber. But the chase scene, Andor made the blaster fights feel real and stressful when they're missing shots. It was like, okay, this makes it feel realistic. It feels like war right now. But when it's Sabine, a Mandalorian, just missing, and it feels like there's no stakes in the blasters, the
they're
chase
so
scene
elusive.
for me.
Right.
Dude.
I'm not a fan of chase scenes overall unless it's the opening scene of Skyfall. James Bond, of course.
Ooh,
But I've come
that's a good one.
to a realization. I think we kind of have to blame Dave Filoni for Sabine, because he's not really building her character like he is Ahsoka. He's using her to move the plot forward. So in the first episode, she unlocks the map, then she loses it, then she later gives it to Balin with Ahsoka following, and then she can't tell Ezra the truth because there needs to be this tension for the finale. So she is just kind of this plot piece to keep things moving forward, and that's why we're not, really liking the things she's doing.
That's
a good point.
Yeah. So she's utterly useless.
Yeah, essentially you're saying she's useless.
Except for the audience who wants to see Thrawn return. But come on, you got to give us a better explanation or heading towards
right.
But,
Yeah.
And at the end, Ezra says, "I think we're going home after all." And it's like, ooh, like someone needs to explain quick.
Please tell him, the poor guy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. I was like, is Ahsoka just go turn around and be like, oh no, we're totally effed. Thrawn has a spaceship. We can't get back. Did Sabine tell you all this?
So I'm assuming Sabine told you she gave the map to Thrawn and let him get away, and we have no way of getting home, right? No? Oh, she told you all about the Battle of Endor, but not that, huh? Okay.
And that Rise of Skywalker reference. I love that.
Yeah.
Emperor died.
That's what they say.
That's what people say. Like,
yeah.
Somehow he returns.
Rumor is he may return later.
Yeah. Somehow I appeared on this planet. Somehow.
They totally made that a point, though, to not say, yes, he's dead. It's like, well, I don't know. Like,
yeah. But no, it was good to see the reunion act with all hug with all of them together, and obviously going to lead into the final episode, which I am really excited for. Now, I just saw this question right before we went to go live. I saw this, and would you think that the entire story of Mandalorian, Ahsoka, do you think that this were done better as the sequel trilogy instead of what we got?
Yes.
Didn't
is that like what we discussed?
I was with Andy. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did a cold open with Andy from the Galactic Core podcast, who's with us right now.
Hey,
our last
Andy.
episode, he joined us for episode 6, Ahsoka, and that was our cold open. Was what if, the sequel trilogy never happened, and we actually got Filoni leading us into the sequel. So I think we're all pretty much here for it.
Well, and that we could explain a little more on that, because me and Dave said yes, Andy said yes. Love played devil's advocate and said Disney needed to learn their lessons to give us a good future, which that's a good point. But you could still use Rey and Kylo under Thrawn and have like a lot of similar things there with their characters, because I do like both those characters. And oh my God, that would be so cool. Instead of a mysterious return of Palpatine, it's just Thrawn. But You still have Kylo working under him, man, with his weird kind of dynamic he has. So yeah, we all agree,
And the high
except
pants.
the devil's advocate.
High pants.
Yeah, dude, that would be so cool. At least have a plan.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we're all on the same wavelength.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And Ahsoka still needs an opponent for the future, because I mean, Shin is not an opponent. I like how she thinks she can fix her, and so could I. Shin, just let you know, I could fix you. But
I'll take you home.
With Balin doing his own thing, like I think maybe Thrawn could be, doing him and the Great Mothers revive some Dark Jedi. What's his name? Jorah Sabaoth from Heir to the Empire or something. That character still has to come into play, because Ahsoka's just gonna wipe Thrawn up.
Star Killer. I still hope they don't. I hope they leave Star Killer out, because you're gonna have to nerf him, and
He's too strong.
I'm just gonna complain. I don't want to be that guy.
What's your bold predictions for the last episode? What do you want to see, and what don't you want to see?
JD wants
Sabine
to
dies.
see Sabine die. Yeah,
There it is. Done.
On time, right there.
First 5 minutes out.
Yeah, just get her out of
Because
here.
I think there has to be a real consequence for Thrawn to really put a period on the end of his sentence for this series and say, a real consequence, a real death. I think that's pretty necessary. There has to be something like that. And Sabine's the perfect one to go.
You can't kill Space Jesus.
It's true.
Yeah,
and he's a good casting. I want to see more of Ezra, honestly. I think he's nailed the Ezra character that we know from the animated series. This actor has totally picked up where we left off with him.
Dude.
So I'd like to see more.
We only got him for a second last episode, and like this episode, he's really portraying his mannerisms and his attitude and kind of how he would, kind of talk crap in the middle of a battle, and so I really like his portrayal.
He's like a Spider-Man kind of
behavior.
A bit. Yeah, and that's how Ezra was in Rebels. So it's totally, even his reaction to Sabine saying Ahsoka took me under her wing. He's like, "What? Why?" They have that they've got that rivalry in Rebels between Sabine and Ezra at points, and their training and stuff. There's always the remarks of Ezra like, "Well, you're not a Jedi, so you can't do this."
Yeah.
And so it really felt like the Ezra we knew. But yeah, we got to get him more. But I really think, after what we saw with this episode, which, by the way, I loved, one of my favorite parts of it was Thrawn at the end when he says, well, we've lost, but really this is actually kind of a win. Like for our first, confrontation with Ahsoka, one might even say this was a win. And I just love it. It was the Thrawn we know from the Timothy Zahn novels, who you think something bad happened until Thrawn explained, and all the, Imperial admirals are pissed and stuff. And Thrawn calmly is like, "This is why this is good and you're wrong. This actually works to my exact advantage." And he did that exactly with Morgan Elsbeth. She's like, "What do you mean? They're reunited. We lost troopers. How is this a good thing?" And he just totally Thrawns it and explains why this was a win for them. And I just absolutely loved it. So my prediction is he's going to get a full-on win in this finale. And that's what I'm hoping for. I want to see Thrawn win. I want to see him and be like, "Oh my God, he is a menace. That was dope. Crap, our heroes are in trouble." That's how I want this season to end. So I'm hoping for that. Bold prediction wise, screw it. I'll say everybody gets stuck in the galaxy. I don't know. But
I wouldn't like that though, because then we're kind of
out.
I mean, they'd probably just like zip back over in the first episode of Ahsoka season 2 or the movie. In the first 5 minutes in the movie, they hop on they find some Purgle, turn its ass around, and fucking hop back, because those Purgles actually didn't kill themselves.
They just dipped. Yeah.
Just start trying to kill it, and then it'll last off.
Yeah. Oh, there was just one Purgle left. It was just floating. We had enough time. We just jumped on that.
Yeah.
Pop in its mouth and blow it up.
Yeah.
But the obvious one is
somehow.
Yeah.
He's probably going to return though, right? Return to the galaxy.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's got to. Like with this episode on the finale.
Infinity War ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
So-
Thrawn wins. He returns back. Yeah, the galaxy's somewhat doomed, and we're kind of left on a negative note with Thrawn being an absolute threat.
Holding
Maybe,
Sabine's
like-
head. Yeah, something like that.
Maybe Ahsoka's left behind, but Ezra and Sabine are like hiding on the ship somewhere, and they make it through.
Thinking
Hiding
they
on the Star
would,
Destroyer.
yeah, hop on the ship and come back with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. Prisoners,
Yeah.
maybe prisoners. I don't know.
Classic. Yeah.
It's a little generic.
She's
but-
gonna stay. Somehow they returned.
Somehow the whole crew returned.
Yeah.
Or maybe just R2D2 can drop him off, randomly on a X-wing. Say, hey,
Yeah,
like Baby
possible.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Luke will fly
rocks up
there.
No, not
I-
Luke ain't going. He ain't worth it. It's just a hologram and R2D2.
Leah sent us. She knew you were here the whole time. I've come to help you.
Whole time she's been here just watching.
Yeah.
I want to. Sorry, I'm curious what everybody thinks. Do we think we're gonna see Ezra wield a lightsaber in this last episode?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll go yeah. I'll go yeah.
All right. I like it.
I'll go yes. I'll say Sabine.
Yeah.
She gets really injured. She gets knocked
Right.
over. It slides over to him. He picks it up.
I like
Yeah,
it.
something like that. Sure.
He force pulls it, Luke style.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like it. I'm going with he has an ignited lightsaber in his hand at some point in the finale.
Plot twist: he joins Thrawn.
Plot twist: he's Enoch,
Join-
who's been in two places at the
joins
same
him.
time.
He joins him. He was part of the trap the whole time.
There it is.
It's crazy.
Mm.
There it is.
If that comes true, I'll be like,
He
"Holy
did
shit."
distract him.
That was-
Hey,
Oh.
Enoch and Ezra. I'll get back into it. They're both biblical names that start with an E. They might be the same person. We have not seen them in the same room together yet. All I'm saying.
Eli Vonto. We got to find out.
You know who would be a formidable opponent for Ahsoka? Ezra.
No. Oh.
I was thinking
Ezra versus Ahsoka would be crazy.
he
Ahsoka
has
better
been living
wipe
with
be
the turtle
sad.
people for
Hell
like
no,
13
bro.
years.
Ahsoka's a master. She's one with the Force entity. Ezra was a Boken Jedi who never really fully was trained, and he's been with turtles for 10 years and no
He's been with the
lightsaber.
Great
There's
Mothers for 10 years.
There's
That's
no
what we're saying.
way he should be able to stand up to Ahsoka at this
He's
point.
Night Sistering it up.
Yeah.
What a
can-
twist that
He
would
can have
be.
as much
though.
Night Sister as he needs. He ain't gonna do anything
Yeah.
to Ahsoka if we're writing it right
That's,
here.
if they did
Yeah,
that,
we all
that's
know you're
some
in
big,
Ahsoka show.
and I might like it.
Ezra was
Have you-
not like a Luke level Jedi in Rebels. Like he was
I know.
trained for like 2 years, and he wasn't this incredibly powerful Jedi in Rebels. He was a good Jedi, but he ain't Ahsoka level.
True.
But you
You guys
infuse him
think-
with some Dark Sister magic, and he's on that level.
Boom. Done. That's how Star Wars works.
Yeah,
guess.
come on, man. It's the dark side.
I guess.
Quicker, stronger.
Mix and
Faster.
mysteries.
Do you think any more cameos or that's it?
I think
Let's
Zeb
get
pops
Luke,
up
baby.
last episode.
Let's get Luke.
Luke,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just bringing
Zeb-
everybody.
Zeb would be very appropriate with the Ghost crew, right?
He
Yeah.
should have been with Carson Teva. He's in the same flight squadron, and Carson and his crew flew out with Hera to meet up with them at Satos. But it's CGI. I get it. It's a budget. I
He's-
get it. You know, it's not worth
He's
it. at
busy
this point.
interrupting Hera and Jason talking when they're trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, what about the
You will
Wookiee
stop
attack?
this slander right now, or I will call Carson himself.
They
And
said
he will
he's
file
trained.
a formal complaint.
He's a professor. He has little glasses on and a suit. He's teaching people how to be New Republic pilots.
Was he? Wait, who?
Yeah, that's what they
Zeb?
said. Yeah, they
Oh,
said
yeah,
Sabine
yeah.
told Ezra that.
Training new pilots. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Well,
The
oh,
galaxy. Sorry.
no, it's all right. No, it was a bit of a lull episode, but there was still a lot in this. Still a lot in this to take in, and I think a lot of us agree there was probably more questions than answers than we
Yeah.
got. And after this, the Skeleton Crew, which we know is coming at the end, and whether or not how that's going to tie into all this Dave Filoni movie, which do we have a release date? Did they say there was a release date for the Dave Filoni movie, or was it just announced?
Oh, no.
I think they were aiming for 2025, but I don't think we have.
Yeah, 25 or 26.
Does Skeleton
Targeting
Crew
26.
have a release date?
That just says end of 2023.
Right, yeah.
Oh, this
We're running out of time.
Yeah. It's,
Well,
it's
good.
getting a bit close.
Yeah, good.
No, the
More Star Wars.
movie says 2026 target.
Because is it the Rey movie, Dave Filoni, and then the
Dawn of the
prequel
Jedi.
500? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. But I don't know about that Rey movie.
Let's be honest, bro. Every plan that Star Wars has had in the last 15 years has been altered 3 to 4 times before it actually officially happened, including director changes, writer changes, actor changes, everything changes. So who knows what we're actually going to get 2026.
Wow, that's true. What was the canceled
Not to be
one?
negative.
There was canceled
Rogue
one with
Squadron?
Peter Jenkins. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and just Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens, or Rogue One, all of these had director changes late in the game, writer changes. They all had multiple changes, like every single Disney Star Wars project has had. It's hilarious going down the list.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like every project's either been delayed or a different style. It's never been the announcement's never gone the same to when we've actually got the final product.
Right.
Which we can tell with The Last Jedi. It's really awful. But look, guys, thank you so much for coming on this episode and reviewing Gen V and reviewing the last episode of it's episode 7 of Ahsoka. I was about to say the last episode.
Penultimate.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Travis. The original Thrawn trilogy clones Luke, and while it would be controversial.
Oh, dude, that would be
wild.
crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, Luke fights clone Luke because I think they got his hand. They got cut off in The Empire Strikes Back
Yeah.
and cloned it. And his name's Luke with 2 L's.
With like a goatee to tell you that it's evil Luke.
Yeah. Give him a little mustache that he twirled from time to time.
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
That would be.
I heard that as one of the rumors for Merrick initially was maybe it's a Luke clone, which we all saw what came of those theories. But I like the creativity of it.
Absolute dust. And look, for anyone who's listening, watching, you all need to go listen, subscribe to these guys' podcast. They are nailing it. They're doing fantastic content, and they are the premier nerd podcast.
Wow.
No,
Great praise.
You're amazing.
No, you
You're
guys
listening
are.
to the premier
Thank
nerd
you.
content right here, Mr. Lee.
Nah. No. And Andy said goodbye to. He said peace out.
Oh,
Thanks for
Indeed.
sticking with us, Andy. Good guy, that guy.
I think it's like
He
1
did.
o'clock in the morning for him.
Oh, probably, yeah.
He doesn't
Freshly
sleep.
married. Congrats, sir.
Congrats, Andy.
yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, congrats, man. I forgot about that. Any final words, guys?
Just thank you, man. Thank you for having us, Lee. It's
Yes.
always a blast. So it's been fun, having each other on for this coverage of this Ahsoka season. Love it. Looking forward to continuing to do it, and can't wait for this finale. Rubbing my hands.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was great to be on. We'll have to get you on for like a draft episode or something fun to do. Draft a superhero team or draft your favorite movies in a category. Those are always fun to do.
Nerd Octagon 2 coming up.
There it is.
Something.
Down. 100% down. Travis, Thrawn said he wanted to know who Ahsoka's master was. Dave Filoni is obsessed with Plo Koon, so I could see Thrawn resurrecting him, and he's the only one who took Ahsoka to the temple.
Ooh, an undead Plo Koon would be quite a cool design, I'd say.
Oh God.
I think
God,
just-
it's already kind of creepy as he is.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I still think that's Balin's master.
Plo Koon?
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
What if it's all clones under the masks of those stormtroopers, just a bunch of Gideon? Or what if Enoch is a Gideon clone? That because there was a lot of that going on.
Oh,
True.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see who Enoch is. Shoot, yeah, there's a lot of mysteries to uncover here.
And hopefully we'll get that in the last episode next week. But look, guys, thank you, and I can't wait till next time you guys are on here or vice versa. You guys have such a wealth of knowledge, and it's been great to have you for this episode. And as always, guys, until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends.